Picture this. You're the Chancellor of the Exchequer. You've just announced a massive tax-raising budget. You're sitting on national television defending your economic strategy, and then an accountant in the audience stands up and absolutely tears your entire economic philosophy to shreds using basic business logic that a teenager running a lemonade stand would understand. That's exactly what happened to Rachel Reeves on BBC Question Time. And honestly, it was a kind of public dismantling that makes you wonder if someone should check on her after the show. This wasn't just a disagreement. This was a masterclass in how not to run an economy, delivered live on the BBC by someone who actually knows how money works. Let's set the scene because the context here is absolutely crucial. Rachel Reeves, Labour's Chancellor, has been going around Westminster talking about this massive black hole in the public finances that she inherited from Conservatives. According to Labour, the previous government left behind a financial disaster zone, a smoking crater where the budget used to be, and the only way to fix it is by raising taxes. More taxes on businesses, more taxes on wealthy individuals, VAT on private school fees, the whole 9 yards. The government's messaging has been relentless. We've got no choice. The cupboard is bare. Everyone needs to tighten their belt except apparently the government itself, which keeps growing bigger and more expensive. It's the economic equivalent of your mate who keeps borrowing money from you but also keeps buying new trainers. So Rachel Reeves rocks up to Question Time, probably expecting some tough questions, but nothing she can't handle with the usual political word salad about difficult decisions and fixing the foundations. But then this accountant in the audience stands up, and you can almost hear the record scratch moment. She doesn't waste time with pleasantries or political theater. She goes straight for the jugular with a statement so devastatingly simple and logical that you wonder why nobody in government thought of it first. Here's what she said, and I want you to appreciate the absolute surgical precision of this takedown. It is ridiculous the state of our economy. We have lost track of value for money. You talk about how much you have pumped into the NHS, but there's no value for money. Already, we're off to an absolute bang of a start. She's not saying the NHS doesn't need funding. She's saying the funding it gets is being utterly wasted. Which, let's be honest, anyone who's ever waited 6 months for a GP appointment or spent 12 hours in A&E already knows. The money's going in, but the service coming out is about as efficient as a chocolate teapot. But she wasn't done. Not even close. She continued, our public services don't work. Boom. No political spin. No carefully crafted euphemisms about challenges or pressures. Just straight facts. The trains don't run on time. The NHS waiting lists are longer than a CVS receipt. The roads have more potholes than surface. And don't even get me started on trying to get through to HMRC on the phone. Public services in this country are, to put it mildly, absolutely knackered. And then came the knockout punch, the moment that probably made every business owner in Britain stand up and applaud. She said, in terms of raising taxes even further, if I was supporting a business and they came to me and said they were in a black hole like we are, and said, but it's okay, we're going to raise our prices to our customers, I wouldn't say that was a good idea. This is it. This is the entire problem with Labour's economic strategy condensed into one perfect analogy. Imagine running a restaurant where the food is terrible, the service is slow, the place is falling apart, and your solution to the business losing money is to just charge customers more. You wouldn't do that because you're not completely insane. You'd fix the actual problems first. She kept going, twisting the knife with a kind of common sense that's apparently illegal in Westminster. I'd be like, how do your customers currently feel? Do they feel like they are getting value for money? Let's look at other strategies. Let's look at cost savings. Let's look at how we can build efficiency and stop wasting time. The amount of wasted resources we have in this country, something has to change. Every single sentence here is just basic business management principles that any competent accountant or business owner understands instinctively. Before you raise prices or increase revenue, you cut waste, improve efficiency, and make sure your customers are actually happy with what they're getting. This isn't revolutionary economic theory. This is Business 101, and yet somehow it completely eludes the people running the entire UK economy. The timing of this absolute evisceration couldn't be more perfect because it came right after Transport Secretary Heidi Alexander appeared on the same show basically confirming that yes, more tax rises are coming. She used that classic political phrase that always precedes bad news. We do believe that those with the broadest shoulders in society should carry the greatest burden. Translation: we're coming for people with money again. She pointed to Labour's recent VAT raid on private school fees as evidence that they're already targeting wealthy people, which is a government's way of saying, look, we've already done one unpopular thing. What's a few more? When pressed on whether more wealth taxes were incoming, Alexander did that classic political dodge where you don't actually answer the question, but you also don't deny it. She said, the Chancellor is going to set out the budget on November 26. Which in political speak means, yes, absolutely, but I'm not going to say yes because then I'll be the one who announce it, and I quite like to keep my job, thank you very much. Even Fiona Bruce, the presenter, could read between the lines. She summarized it perfectly. It sounds like the direction of travel is higher taxes in some form. The direction of travel. What a beautifully British way of saying you're about to get absolutely hammered with more taxes and everyone knows it. Here's what makes this whole situation so frustrating for normal people watching at home. The accountant's argument isn't complicated. It's not some obscure economic theory that requires a PhD to understand. It's literally just fix the waste and inefficiency before you demand more money from taxpayers. That's it. That's the entire argument. And it's completely bulletproof because everyone can see the waste with their own eyes. We all know someone who works in the public sector who spends half their time in pointless meetings. We've all heard stories about NHS trusts spending ridiculous amounts on consultants who produce reports that nobody reads. We've all seen government IT projects that cost billions and deliver nothing. The waste is everywhere. It's obvious. It's documented. And yet the government's response is just to demand more money rather than actually fixing any of it. Thanks for watching UK Secrets. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Rachel Reeves getting absolutely schooled in basic economics, hit that like button, subscribe for more political reality techs, and drop a comment letting me know what you think about Labour's tax-raising budget strategy. See you next time.